Hey everyone, it is Monday, February 15th, and I had to work extra long at work today. My coworker called out and I had to open and close, and you know, it was just one thing after another. So what I decided to do after I got off of work is go to Albertsons and buy Valentine's candy. Because you know, after Valentine's they have it as a discount. So I did buy $20 worth of Valentine's candy. And I don't regret a single thing. So I got 5 bags of the peanut M&Ms, Sour Patch, Sour Bright Crawlers, and then a whole bag of these Sour Patch Kids. I'm probably gonna eat a whole bag of peanut M&Ms tonight. So yeah, that's basically how my day went. I did get to, I think like chapter, maybe 6 in The Sound of Stars. I'm loving it so far. Okay, so I love Ellie and Morris. Love it. So this is kind of like a YA sci-fi dystopian book where aliens have come to Earth, and through, I guess they think, 2 years ago, a misunderstanding between the leaders of Earth and the invading Elori resulted in the deaths of 1/3 of the world's population. The Elori obviously won, and the Elorians, I think that's how you say it, Elorians, I think I just made that word up. They're basically like, this is all a big misunderstanding, you overreacted, and because of that, we think like music, books, poetry, art, things like that, they think all of that is the reason for our heightened emotions and why we reacted so badly to their invasion. So they banned all of that. It's against the law for you to own or listen or read or anything like that. So if you're caught with that, the sentence is death. We have Ellie. She has a banned library and it has 52 books in there, and 52 books is honestly like a great number because if everything was banned and you know, they took everything or destroyed it all, you know, this is what she could find, and she lets people borrow them, which is super nice. And then we have Morris, who is an Elori. Elori are trained or bred not to feel anything, so he's kind of an anomaly. He has, you know, admitted to Ellie that he does feel and he loves music, and so when they meet, he's like, they meet because one of her books goes missing and it has her name in it, and so he finds it and he's like, hey, I have your book, I'm not, and she's like, oh well, this is it, this is how I die, and he's like, no, I'm gonna protect you, I just want to know if you can get music because he loves music. So she does, and they kind of have like a mutual understanding, and then all of a sudden when she's collecting the music, there's like this raid where the Elorians come and they grab her and they're like, there's gonna be an execution, and they were gonna hang her, and Morris actually saves her with some like superhero moves. He like jumps off a roof and like free falls and grabs her before the rope can like snap her neck, and that was really graphic how I did that. I just cracked my neck. But so he saves her, and now they're on the run because obviously she was gonna die and then he saved her, and so the other Elorians are like, what'd you do that for? So yeah, they are on the run, and that's basically where I'm at, and I'm loving it so far. I really like this, and I can't wait to continue on. And my husband is not home yet, but I don't know when he's gonna be home. I think we're gonna have leftover carne asada for dinner because it's basically already made. I just have to heat it up, and don't really feel like doing much else. But yeah, I just wanted to update y'all on that, and I will update you a little bit later. Bye. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot when I updated you earlier. I forgot to say that I did edit and upload my week 2 Waywardathon and Black Author Readathon vlog. So that is available on my channel for your viewing pleasure. Now you are all up to date. I will talk to you later. Bye. Hi everyone, it is Tuesday, January 16th, and yesterday when I was updating y'all on the vlog, I forgot to say that Black-Oween-Athon Lite is happening this week. So Bree over at the Locked Booktician and Erica are hosting this mini round of Black-Oween-Athon, and there's only one prompt. It's to read a book by a Black author, and there is a giveaway happening, and there's rules for the giveaway. I'll put the flyer here. You just have to comment the book that you're reading and share it on Twitter or Instagram. So the book that I'm reading for Black-Oween-Athon is going to be The Sound of Stars by Alicia Dow, and I'm almost done with it. There we go. I am loving it so far. I'm really enjoying this. So I'm hoping to finish it today, and then I'm going to hopefully also read A Catalina Cove Christmas by Percy Jackson. So those are my plans for the day. And tonight, the romance booktubers are going live, so I'm going to be a part of that. And I will update y'all a little bit later. Bye. Hey everyone, it is Wednesday, February 17th, and last night the romance booktubers did go live, and it was a great time. Everybody was reading A Chord of Silver Flames because that did come out yesterday. My physical copy is not arriving until Saturday. Like, I'm so irritated. Like, what is the point of pre-ordering something if you're not going to get it on release day? I wanted an exclusive edition. That was my first problem. And then also, there was this thing going on, like if you pre-ordered something and you submitted your order number, you got something, I think it was like a pin or something, but I still haven't received that. I don't know where that is. So I don't have my book, and I don't have the thing that, the reason why I pre-ordered for. And so I had to cave and use a credit on Libro FM and get the audiobook. So, even though I still haven't started it yet, I'm probably not going to start it until Saturday, when I'm going to get my physical copy. But I did finish reading, get this book, The Sound of Stars by Alicia Dow. Oh my God, I love this book. It was so good. I loved it. I really loved Morris. I loved Ellie. They were so fantastic. Even it was like a really sweet enemies to lovers, even though they were only quote unquote enemies for like 5 seconds. And Morris does try his best to protect Ellie. Like, honestly, he's such a cinnamon roll, like, towards her, but if she's in danger or, you know, they're both in trouble, like, he's a badass. He has some like superpowers or something. So I love him so much. And Ellie is really great too. I mean, she holds her own most definitely. I love them working together. The ending it's kind of a little lackluster for me. That's why I didn't give it a full 5 stars. I mean, I felt like this book was like nonstop action, and then when it wasn't action, their love story was building. So those moments were really sweet and swoony and beautiful. But then like the ending happened, and I don't want to spoil you, but I did put my review on Goodreads and Storygraph. So I put a little like spoiler asterisk before I put like what kind of bothered me about the ending. So if you want to know, it is there for you. But yeah, it was just kind of like, after this entire like fantastic book, the ending felt very rushed and kind of almost incomplete. But especially because I don't even think there's going to be, I think this is a standalone. There's not going to be a second book in the series. It's not even a series. So I would have felt better about the ending if it was a series, but it's not. It's a standalone. So I'm just like, this kind of felt anticlimactic a little bit. So, but I still gave it 4 stars. I still enjoyed it a lot. It's so good. I will definitely be reading more by this author when she writes any more stuff. So yeah, I finished this one, and then I started, during the live read along with the romance booktubers, I started reading The Edge of Midnight. And I have the book here. The Edge of Midnight by Beverly Jenkins. This is Beverly Jenkins' first romantic suspense, and I'm like halfway done with it. I fucking love this book so much. Sarita and Michael are just, the tension between these two are just fucking fantastic. I love them so much. So how do our 2 main characters meet? So Sarita is kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place. So she works at this center. It's like a neighborhood center with kids. This gang lord is basically like, hey, do you want, to make ends meet this month? Do you want these kids taken care of? I need you to get these diamonds for me, So she goes and does it, but there is someone else who is looking for these diamonds as well, and that is Michael. Now, Michael is there for a completely different reason. Michael is looking for this gang lord because he's in the middle of a sting operation. And so they're both there for the diamonds. For Michael, it's very like, he thought it was just some boy that this gang lord got to get these diamonds, but in fact it's this woman, and it's a beautiful woman. He's attracted to her, and so he's looking to like take her in or whatever, so she has to get away. So she ends up shooting him in the arm. It's like a superficial like flesh wound. He's fine, but it's so funny because like that's why he's attracted to her, is because like she really shot me. I was dying laughing. There's this one quote where I have to find it. It's hilarious. Hold on. Okay, so I found the quote. He had naturally lumped her in with all the other women he had known socially, beautiful but unable to ignite more than a passing interest. He'd been so wrong. Just finding her in Fishbine's room with the diamonds had been intriguing enough, but then for her to shoot him and escape? The women in his past were all too willing to do his bidding. Sarita was different. She didn't have a submissive bone in her body, and that back-talking mouth of hers had no trouble telling him where to go. So I think it's just so funny, like, that's what intrigues him, like, because she shot him. I'm loving this book so much. The tension between these two, like I said, is just off the charts. So spicy. They haven't even banged yet, and I'm just like, my God. So I can't wait for them to, though, but because it's gonna be fire. But so I just wanted to let you know that this is what I'm reading now. So I'm hoping to finish this before tomorrow, because tomorrow I do have to finish reading the Sea of Monsters, the last half, I think chapters 10 through the end, because Brie and I from the Locked Booktition, we were having a discussion about that on my channel. And then also today, the World Hoppers channel, Jashana and Elle, and a bunch of other collaborators, they host things on that channel. And they asked some romance booktubers to come on and talk about, different tropes and things about romance. And so we had filmed that, not last weekend, but the weekend before that. And so the video of that finally went live on their channel, on the World Hoppers channel. So I will link that in the cards and in the description box for you. It was a fun time, talking with them. And I'm going to finish watching it, even though, I was there and I didn't, but I still want to watch it. So my husband is not home yet. He's not going to be home for a few hours. So I got some time to kill. And so I just wanted to update y'all a little bit on what's going on, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Hi everyone, it is Friday, February 19th, and I just got home from work a little while ago. Oh, this was such a long week at work. I am just so glad it's the weekend. So the last time I updated y'all, I was reading The Edge of Midnight, and I did end up finishing that. It was fantastic, honestly. Beverly Jenkins, no matter what genre she's writing, whether it's historical or it's the romantic suspense, she's fantastic. It's 5 stars. I loved it so much. And yesterday, Brie and I went live for the discussion of the last half of the Sea of Monsters, so I did finish that as well. I will link the live stream in the cards in the description box for my full thoughts. I did give it 4 stars. Can't wait to continue on with the rest of the series and with our read-along. We've been having so much fun. And now I'm listening to Room Hate by Penelope Ward. For the Waywardathon Readathon, it is for a friends to enemies trope and an emotional read. So I'm gonna get 2 prompts for that. I'm listening to the audiobook. I think I'm like maybe 40% done, not entirely sure. It's definitely not going the way I thought it was going to. I don't want to spoil you, but so there's just a picture of the book here. If you don't want to be spoiled, kind of, fast forward until you don't see the picture of the book anymore. But I had no idea that our female main character was going to become pregnant this early on in the book. And it's not even the male main character, like the love interest. It's not even his baby. She was previously with another man and they had since broke up. But apparently, like, the last few nights that they were together, it wound up as a pregnancy. And so, like, that was not the direction I thought this book was going in. But I mean, it's okay so far. Nothing, I'm not really wowed or anything by it. But hopefully that changes. The narrator was okay. So my thoughts right now is just, it's a very okay book. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm not wowed by it. And I think that has to do with just because I just read Beverly Jenkins. So like anything after that is just going to be subpar. And when I came home, I did see that I got a package. And honestly, this better be my copy of A Court of Silver Flames. If not, what is the point of pre-ordering something if you don't get it on release day? Someone let me know. Let me know in the comments. What's the reason? I don't know. So this better freaking be my copy. Otherwise, I will scream. It is! And it's hideous. I hate these covers, honestly. I hate it. I'm gonna take the dust jacket off now because and it's like bright fucking orange. Perfect. So, Court of Silver Flames. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I did use a credit on Libro FM and get the audiobook as well. Holy crap, this is a freaking brick. How many pages is this? 7. Oh, this is the acknowledgements. That doesn't count. Acknowledgements, last page, 751. Brick. You could like kill somebody with this. But so yeah, I'm probably going to be reading this as soon as I finish Room Hate. I don't have very much longer in the audiobook, you know, when you put it on 3-speed. But so yeah, this is finally, I'm glad I finally got it. So can't wait to read about Cassian. Honestly, I could give two shits about Nesta. Honestly, you know, she was doing okay in Ashore, but then you were starting to see like a different side of her. But then that monstrosity, A Court of Frost and Starlight, she honestly angered me in that book. So we'll see. We'll see if she can get back into my good graces, because honestly, I'm reading this book for Cassian and for the threesome scenes that I was promised, but I've already been told that they did not make it into the final edit, and I'm upset. But anyway, so yeah, that hopefully I'll be able to read that over the weekend. So yay! All right, so I just wanted to update y'all on that. I'm gonna take a shower, honestly. Actually, I think I'm gonna take a bath. Ooh, I got a notification from YouTube that Rebel ASMR just posted a new video. Perfect timing. I'm gonna take a bath and watch that video and relax and hopefully fall asleep because I'm exhausted. My husband said he's gonna work late, so I don't think we're going out tonight. So that is what's going to happen. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Hi everyone, it is Sunday, February 21st, and it's like 9:30, and I'm so sorry I haven't vlogged at all this weekend. It's terrible of me. I apologize. So I did end up finishing Room Hate by Penelope Ward. I think I gave it 3 stars. It was definitely an emotional read. So much happened in this book. I was like, holy moly, I did not expect any of this to happen in this book, honestly. Definitely fell into the, you know, the hated miscommunication trope kind of thing. Then I read The Bittersweet Bride by Vanessa Riley, and I gave that 3 stars. That was for the prompt for the Waywardathon, read a book you're unsure about. And for the Black Author Readathon, it's for read a historical romance. yeah, the only reason why I wasn't sure about this one is it didn't really have that great of reviews on Goodreads. This book definitely fell into the miscommunication trope as well. So our two main characters, they were in love once upon a time, and they kind of promised themselves to each other. When they like kind of consummate their feelings for each other, the guy's dad is like, to prove yourself like you're a man, you have to go to war and blah blah blah. And so he does. He goes to war and he's basically like, wait for me. And she's like, okay. Well, when he is gone, his family like treats her like garbage, and she finds out she's pregnant because, you know, they're one night together. And then she gets word that he died in battle, and she's got to find a way to protect herself, protect this unborn baby. So she does what she has to do. She finds a man who it happens to be his cousin, who's willing to, you know, give this baby a name and raise this baby and give the protection of, you know, a man's name. You know, in that time, unfortunately, having babies out of wedlock was very bad. So she kind of did what she had to do. But then like 6 years go by, and then our two main characters finally like get back together, finding out that he actually didn't die. Her husband, the one that she married, to kind of protect herself and her unborn baby, he died. So she's a widow now, and she's been grieving for the proper amount of time, because there's a proper amount of time where you have to grieve after your spouse dies. And she still needs the protection of a man's name, so she is putting out advertisements in the newspaper saying like she needs a husband, kind of thing. And that's how they kind of meet back together. And then she is like shocked. She's like, you're supposed to be dead. Like, she even says like this, like, he's a ghost. Like, he's a ghost, come to haunt me. And so it's very, you know, heavy miscommunication trope. And I even forget the reason why he never came back. You know, it's like he was only supposed to fight in this war for like 1 year, and he was gone for 6 years. Like, where were you? Like, why didn't you never write anybody? I still have no answers to that. But so yeah, definitely not the best, but you know, it was still enjoyable. And it's also a quote unquote clean romance. There's no sex on page, which is, you know, unfortunate for me, but I know some people don't like the graphic sex on page, so this doesn't have that. So if you like that, definitely give this a try. I was buddy reading Titanic by I don't even know who the author is. I think it's I.D. Johnson. I think. So I was buddy reading that with Avery because a while ago she had asked on Instagram, she had rewatched Titanic and she was wondering if there were any romances kind of around that. And I, you know, had found this one. And I was like, I don't know how good it's going to be because I haven't read it. And she's asked me if I wanted to buddy read it. So I'm like, yeah, sure, of course. So this does take place on the Titanic. Our two main love interests, Meg and Charlie. They were in kind of like betrothed to one another for like 3 years or something, but they had never met. And she had been through some traumatic things in her childhood, like sexual assault and rape from a relative. So trigger warnings on that. So she was kind of lacking that self-love and self-worth, saying that he deserved better than her as a wife because she was feeling that from the traumatic experience. And so she felt she had to get out from under her family's thumb, especially because her rapist was a family member. And, you know, she kind of makes some decisions that, you know, she trusts people she shouldn't have trusted. And she winds up on the Titanic with one of her friends who was a servant in her household, going to America to kind of find a new start, new life. Charlie, her betrothed, is on the Titanic as well, and he doesn't know the whole situation. Again, miscommunication. This just seems to be like the weekend of miscommunication. So, yeah, Charlie Charlie doesn't know why she disappeared, why she broke off the engagement, what happened to her in the past. Doesn't even really know what she looks like, because when they meet on the Titanic, she knows it's him, but he doesn't know it's her. So that's kind of it was an interesting dynamic there. So I was really intrigued with this book. And then also it gave like lots of nods to the movie, like Molly Brown, the character Molly Brown was in this book. And then there's like this conversation with the lifeboats. And then there was, like the third class party and dance that happened that Jack and Rose went to. That was a whole scene, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, I did really like this book. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. So I gave that 4 stars. And last but not least, I read Queen Move by Kennedy Ryan. When I started this, I didn't know it was actually the 3rd in a series. I really should have read books 1 and 2 first, but I didn't. I mean, I didn't feel lost or anything, so that it didn't detract from the story at all. But I really like reading series like in order. But I really liked this book. We have Ezra and Kimba, and they have known each other since they were babies, and they were best friends, and they were each other's first kiss, and, you know, they really loved each other. And Ezra even, you know, confesses, you know, that he thought they were going to be each other's first, you know, like with the sex. But it turns out that, you know, some issues and things were happening with their families, like with their parents, that they really had no control over, and they kind of were separated that way. Their families kind of had a falling out, and they lost touch for like 20 years, and they were reunited because her father died and he came to pay his respects at the funeral. So that's how they kind of get back in touch with each other after 20 years. 20 years. Wow. This was also kind of a miscommunication trope, where it wasn't miscommunication on the 2 love interests, but on the parents, because they were the reason why, there was a reason why that they were no longer speaking with each other. And when they learned that, it was kind of like, dang, the parents were kind of protecting themselves at that point, but to the detriment of the kids and their friendship and relationship. But Ezra kind of just goes for it. You know, it's been 20 years. He was in a long-term relationship with a woman. They weren't married, but they did have a baby together, and they did live together. But they weren't happy. So they decide that, you know, it's just not working anymore. And they decide to break up. She goes on like this safari for her job. And then he was given an award that Kimba was giving out. She was kind of the handing out those awards. And that's how they meet again after her dad's funeral. And that's when their kind of relationship rekindles, because he's like, listen, you know, we were best friends. I cared about you. I've always had this thing for you, and I think we should explore it, kind of thing. I love that. And Ezra, he just goes after what he wants. He just kind of lays it all on the line. He's like, this is what I want. What do you think? And of course, you know, she, you know, goes for it. And she's going through her own kind of crazy stuff. Like, yes, her father just died, but then she's also going through something called like perimenopause or something, where, you know, women go through menopause very early. Like, she's not even 40. She's still in her mid to late 30s. Her PCP and a specialist are saying, like, we need to get your period back. You know, you need to think about, like, is having children really what you want, because you have a very finite amount of time of when this can happen. So she's like put in this situation where she's like, yeah, she's thought about having kids, but she wants, like, that's going to be in the future. She's in the middle of her career. She has a very successful career, and she's very popular and well known and successful in her career. So she's like, I gotta have a baby like now, or I'm not going to be able to. So that's kind of like thrust in her lap kind of thing. And some drama happens with Ezra's ex-girlfriend when she comes back from her safari early, and it is a whirlwind of emotion, and lots of things happen. But Ezra is so swoony. He's so romantic and passionate. I love him so much, and he's a great dad. I love him so much. I listened to the audiobook for this, and Jacoby DM is his last name. I was like, his voice sounds very familiar, so I googled it, and he actually narrated Let Me Love You by Alexandria House and Inevitable Conclusions by Christina C. Jones, which I also listened to. So I'm like, he's becoming a favorite narrator of mine. He does such a good job. So yeah, that was basically my weekend of reading, and definitely getting more spaces clicked off on my bingo board, so I'm very excited about that. I think I have like 6 more books to read for both of my readathons. It's definitely doable, but they're all like physical books now. I've listened to all of the audiobooks, and I'm down to the physical books on my TBR, so those are definitely going to take longer for me, but wish me luck. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend and you have a great week coming up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.